Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. My name is Uli Mors. I'm running a small video production company in Germany. I'm cameraman, DP, editor, and I'm here with Bert Reyskens. He is a gaffer, and he builds a box called Gaffers Control. And I was not into lumen radio and controlling lights wirelessly before, but I purchased the KinoFlow light, and I found the wireless DMX control lumen radio in it. And I thought in the very first beginning it's just a method of controlling the light with a tablet or whatever. And I digged into this, into the lumen radio specs lately. And I found it very complicated to have a mixing board and a transmitter, or have an application, an app on your, let's say, iPhone or your tablet, and going to a DMX box, going with the cable to a transmitter, going lumen radio. This sounds complicated and a lot of hardware. And somebody told me that Bert developed a Gaffers Control, so it's a, let's say, kind of DMX mixer wirelessly in a pilly case or in a small box. So can you tell me what it's exactly?
Basically, it's a wireless DMX desk. So everything is built inside one box. So you can just come onto set, open it, put it on, and you're directly ready to go. We also did all the things that you're mentioning, like going for a iPad to a Wi-Fi to a converter to go to DMX, and then a lumen radio transmitter. But we always found out that there was some kind of delay on it, or we weren't really happy with the reaction of an iPad when you had to do fine-tuning of a light, like go up 5% during shot. It was always a really struggle. So then we were really looking for a solution that had the physical knobs, like it's really old school to control a light with a knob. It just feels more intuitive. Yeah. We also really wanted a master fader, and so that it really feels like a normal DMX desk that we're used to. But with all the modern lights, you need a lot of faders. And to keep it mobile, we found out the solution to go for the combination with the screen and the physical knobs. So you can really navigate fastly on the screen, and then just operate with the knob when you like, or operate with the screen. You always get the option for every function. You can do it with a knob or with the screen. You can also do a multi-selection of the lights, and then you get all the intensity channels next to each other with the name tags on top. So now you can do manual crossfades because it's a multi-touch screen. When you want to do something more with the light, you just select the name tag, you get all the options again. So now I can change the gel that I've selected, exit, and you're back in your multi-selection.
So actually, how was this born? So you said, I want to build something for the industry, or what was your idea behind it?
No, the idea was we were just looking for a way to control lights on set just for ourselves, because Spots Unlimited is more like a group of gaffers working together. Yeah. And everybody has his ideas, and it's just about listening to what everybody is saying. And then one of my associates, Steven, he met some guy who was really into technology, and he said, hey, you have to meet up and change your thoughts. And then out of these, so I met Jeff. He really is the computer brain behind this.
Okay, see.
And then we start talking, and that's how it came, the first unit. So then we only made one, afterwards 10 to use in our company, but then other people started seeing it and wanted to work with it. So then we started producing it.
You know, I saw another episode of Meet the Gaffer where Lux Hierfeld was showing how to control lumen radio, and he was using an app and dedicated hardware. And I thought, if we have a little bigger setup for corporate video, for example, and we have several fixtures, I don't want to build up, you know, all these little parts like a transmitter and the desk, or a unit that combines Wi-Fi to DMX and so on. When I came across the Gaffers Control, I thought, wow, I personally like dedicated hardware. So just the unit that you can open up, and I see you put it in a nice little pilly case, or kind of. So what are the components of it? So what does it come with?
So basically everything is inside this box. It has a built-in battery, for lithium-ion battery, which you can charge with a 4-pin cable. It's 9 to 18 volts, so you can also use an external battery. The other one is USB for updating and wired DMX out. We also worked in the beginning with, like you said, with the Wi-Fi network, but Wi-Fi was always the weakest link in the setup. So we went for direct lumen radio transmission inside. We've also built it separately, so you can switch off the transmission in between when you're not using it anymore. Yep. So that saves a lot of battery, and also your lights, when you set DMX hold in case of loss, they also go into memory mode, so you've got no chance of interference anymore.
Well, actually, you switched it off now, and we are running. Is it right? We are running all these lights on
yes,
lumen radio at the moment?
On here. So now when I control, nothing happens. As soon as I put it on again, you've got control again.
Oh, okay.
You've got the master fader. Normally it controls all the lights, but only the intensity. So it never mixes up the color settings or the effect settings. Yeah. But you can also switch it to selected, and then you can just make a small group of lights, and now it only controls the lights that you've selected.
Ah, okay. How many lights can you control with it?
We have 14 fixture buttons, but on one button you can control a group of lights or one light. It depends a little bit on which profiles you're using. If you use easy profiles like a bicolor fixture, then you can go up to 7 fixtures on one button. If you control like a sky panel in ultimate mode, it's only 1.
Okay. So, but if I want to light a green screen and I have several fixtures doing the green screen background, they could run on a group, right?
They could run on a group, or you can just put them on the same address. It's like you want to organize yourself.
Is it still possible to make little shifts within the group? For example, if there's one light dedicated to be a little bit lower and one a little bit higher, but on the same group?
You can make your own profile for all the lights from this green screen together, and this way you get one submaster for the group of lights, but you can, if you enter the group, you can individually control every light separately.
But it's still only taking one button, right?
It's still one button.
So my green screen is number 1, for example.
Yes, it takes a little bit of preparation because you have to create a profile, but once you know how you're going to work with it, you can always go in advance, set up all the profiles you need for that day and load it into the box, and then you're set for the day. Yeah.
Just very practically, if I start, for example, with this, we have some lights here, let's say with the freestyle. If I want to set up a light, how would you start with a light and the control?
The first thing you have to do is make the lumen radio connection. So, like in a KinoFlow, you have to go to the menu, then DMX wireless. There you have to enable it or to put it on. So now it's unlinked. So now you can see that even when I'm transmitting, this light isn't reacting anymore.
Yeah, okay.
So as soon as we link it, here the link button starts blinking. It takes around 10 seconds most of the time to make the stable connection. So now it's ready to go and it's back in the system.
But this means I have to do it one fixture after another, right?
No, you can just prepare all your fixtures and then just press link, and then it's connecting to all the fixtures at the same time. At the end of your shooting day, if you're not using the lights the day after, you can just push and hold to your link button for 5 seconds, and then you deconnect to all the lights. So then the lights are ready for the next user to use them. So the other thing you just have to do is put up a DMX address and a profile that's in the fixture itself, and then select the same profile and DMX address on the Gaffers Control.
How many profiles are on your website already, roughly?
Now at the moment it's around 160.
Oh my God, okay. So obviously the most important lights that I probably ever heard of.
There are even lights on it that I've never heard of.
Just for the setup of this little video shoot, I can identify some of the lights. So for example, we have a KinoFlow Select 31 in the backside, running straight through Lumen Radio. We have as well KinoFlow with LED tubes that runs through this controller. So we have 4 of these lights, 2 in the background and 2 on the table. And what are the other lights?
So basically we provide profiles for any manufacturer. So even when it's not in there yet, you can always ask us and we'll provide you the profile. But like now we're controlling the light panels, which also has the option of doing Lumen Radio inside. Then there's a sky panel, we have the cream source micro color, and the mini mix from Roscoe.
Yes.
So these are all working on DMX. So some of them have built-in receivers, other ones need an external receiver.
Okay. Yeah. So is it possible to take any Lumen Radio receiver? Is there a dedicated standard for it that works with the Gaffers, or is it universal?
Lumen Radio is always compatible with each other. So as long as it's a CRMX chip inside, you can use any receiver.
Okay. Coming back to the box, what I like about the box is that it has physical knobs, but it's possible to use the touchscreen as well, or what's the method behind it?
Yes, in our setup you can, at every point you can choose between operating on the touchscreen or operating with the physical knobs. So it's always direct above each other. So when you want to have a quick setting, you can just adapt it, and when you want to fine-tune or operate during shot, it's most of the time easier to do it with the knobs.
And just accidentally, what happens if I just touch the screen and I don't want that, unfortunately, a fader jumps up or something like that?
No, when you're operating with the knobs during shot, you can just disable the screen.
Ah, I see,
so
okay.
now nothing happens when you touch it, you can only operate it by the knob.
Okay.
We're just looking for best ways to operate during shot, and we found out that one of our clients, a DOP, he was operating during his shot while he was operating the camera, and then he accidentally hit it.
Okay.
So then he asked for this, and then we listened and thought, hey, it makes sense to make it disable knob. Yeah. So then we integrated it. It's still in development, and we can always make new features if we go.
Okay. You told me that the box is also controllable or updatable, whatever, by a client software as well. So what does the client software does to this unit?
The client software is like a software that you download from our site, and then you can download all the fixtures that are available, all the profiles. You can get the latest profiles. They're all on our database. Yeah. So you can download them. You can also customize the existing profiles. You can create your own profiles. And let's say if you make like a really nice profile that you think everybody can like, is gonna like this, or it can be useful to somebody, you can just upload it to our server and make it available to other gaffers. So this way we try to create a little bit of a community from gaffers that are using it and even improving the product.
Ah, okay. I remember Alan Steinheimer once saying, if he puts functions of the, for example, sky panels on a mixing board, many people complain that you have the fan on the fader and some other geeky functions that you usually don't need. So that's the idea behind the profiles as well? So
the idea behind the profiles is that you always get the information on the screen what you would have when you're operating the light on the fixture itself. Okay. So you can see like fan control, we programmed it that it's automatically goes to auto, but you can switch it off or on. Yeah. But normally on a normal fader board you would have to go to the manual, see like I want to have the fan off, so I have to put value between 21 and 31 for example. But we don't express this in values, but really the setting, like this is off, this is on.
Ah, okay.
Also for the gel lists that a lot of people provide, we give the names of the gel on the screen. So when you're switching the gels, you can really read, it's a little bit shorter than it would be normally, but when you know which gel you're looking, you're going to find it.
That's a very interesting point, because when I think of the gels, for example, in the KinoFlow, that has a huge list of gels with dedicated names from the Lee filters. So I will find these names in a short way
Yes,
back in the Gaffers Control?
You can just scroll through the entire list and choose which one you want to have.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Some lights can produce effects like, I don't know, police car or something like that.
Yes.
On dedicated DMX values. So I don't have to use the DMX value in my mind. Oh, number 50 was police car.
No, for most lights we now built a special profile, because as a gaffer most of the time you're going to know I'm going to use the candle effect, I'm going to use a cop car effect. So as soon as you take here the cop car profile, you can just you only get the faders that you're necessary for this profile.
Okay.
And all the rest we just take out. So you always get only the basic information. So it's really fast and intuitive to operate the effect.
So Bert, what can you control at the moment? What is the setup at the moment with these lights?
So normally when you start up the Gaffers Control, you get an overview page which shows the 14 fixtures that are patched into the unit. So at this point you can only do the intensity of the lights with the knobs directly. If you want to do something more with the light, you just select the fixture button and then you get all the options of the profile that you're running. So now I can go to the color wheel, I can do the saturation. Anything you want to do with this light you can do, and as soon as you're ready you can just go back to the overview and then you see all the lights again.
Actually this is organized in profiles. Is it what's about RDM?
We decided not to go for RDM at the moment because we've got a lot of clients that are just starting with DMX and other clients that are really ready for RDM, but it's finding a solution in between. So we came up with the idea that a lot of manufacturers now make ultimate profiles. So now what we do is we put the light at the ultimate profile, we address it, and then afterwards you can choose any profile on the Gaffers Control. Yeah. So you can go from CCT to effects to gel mode without that you have to switch anything on the light.
I see.
So this way you create the functionality of communicating to your light, but not really the two-way communication.
Just to get an impression, how many channels, if you put an array to the full option switch or to the full option mode, how many DMX channels does the Sky panel, for example, have?
At this moment we use the 8-bit, the ultimate mode, so that's protocol 30 on the Sky panel, and that uses 24 channels.
Oh my God. For one light?
For one light.
Well, what is it all about? 24 channels on one light?
With 24 channels you can do, you can really control everything about the Sky panel. You can go for the fan mode, you can control CCT, you can do crossfades to color, you can do two gels next to each other and then crossfade between two gels, so you get all the options. Yeah. So at this point, we have the Sky panel here on ultimate mode, so now I'm using only the CCT RGB function. So now at this point you can only control the CCT of the Sky panel, and then you can go crossfade to color and the RGB white.
I see, okay.
So basically this is the protocol 6 that everybody's using in the States, in the studios and everything, but then with more channels. So we still provide the protocol 6 also, so people can use what they like, because 24 is quite a big DMX footprint. But the advantage now is that now we can just do edit, select another profile, like a club effect, save, and then we go to edit again, and then you can control the effect. So now instead of 24 faders, we only get the 2 faders that really matter for this effect.
Okay, that's good. I think it's better to think of 14 little DMX controllers, each for one light of one light group, with all the possibilities that the light brings with it, and you can just sort what you need, right?
Yes.
The way?
We try to make it more like a remote control of your light instead of a DMX desk.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's a great approach. And there's this little small, that's a funny detail. There's a little thing that you left on this C-stand or on this stand. You showed it in the morning when I asked you if we can put the box on a table, and then you said we can put it on a on a stand as well.
Yes, this is what I really like. It's that gaffers customize their things. So one of the gaffers that works with us is Christophe, and he made this 3D printed adapter. So you just put it in here, and then you can fit it on a stand like this.
That's funny. Well, that's a good and nice solution, and shows that that you're open to other ideas.
Yeah, I really like the creativity of finding solutions on set.
To be honest, I think I need a small little video game in it for just the boring hours.
I've already seen some gaffers who stick a small iPad in here, and then
no!
you can watch the videos, the video from the live video from the set, or sometimes watch their own YouTube videos.
So if if gaffers now are looking very busy into a small Pelicaze box, they're probably looking TV. Perfect. Bert, that was a nice overview about a product that you obviously developed for yourself and now make a business out of it, kind of.
We try to, but...
I must admit, I always loved hardware units. For example, when we finish the shooting with these two FS7, I will put the memory cards directly into a small copy machine, and I like small hardware solutions because we use smartphones for so many things as cameramen as well. For example, for GoPros, for DJI drones, for, well, some lights, for timecode syncing. It's all about apps, and sometimes I really hate using apps and smartphones for everything. And so I'm really, I really like the idea of building a dedicated box, battery-driven, that you can simply take away or just carry around on a set. That's really a great idea. So this is the end of this episode, and thank you, Bert, for presenting it. And I would say we have a coffee now, right?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Switch off the lights. I'm a coffee drinker so much, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.